What was the moment you understood the way you were raised wasn't normal? For me, it was a broken bowl in someone else's kitchen. I was 13. I forgot to bring the garbage bins up from the curb before my father got home, and I was shaking in the driveway before he'd even parked, because I knew the shape of the next hour. He didn't yell. He almost never yelled. He set his keys down, walked me into the garage, and pointed at the bare concrete wall. Down. I slid into a wall sit, and he handed me a gallon of paint for each hand, then set a 15-minute timer on the workbench where I could see the numbers. Arms drop, we start over. My thighs burned by minute 4. My shoulders were twitching by 7, and when my left arm sagged, he reset the clock twice. "I'm building you," he said, leaning against the bench, scrolling. "The world eats soft, kids. You'll thank me." That wasn't a bad night. That was Tuesday. An 88 on a math test meant running the block until I threw up in the hedge, then one more lap to prove it wasn't the throwing up that stopped you. Talking back meant sleeping on the garage floor with the house door locked. Neighbors saw. Neighbors always saw. One once told him he ran a tight ship, and my father laughed and said somebody has to. Then Toby transferred into my school in October, and he became the first friend I'd had in years. I helped him catch up in science, and afterward he said his mom made the best food in the city and I should come see. I almost said no, but I'd eaten nothing but school lunch since Sunday, so I heard myself say, okay, 1 hour, already doing the math on how fast I could run home by 6. Their house was 4 streets from school, small, blue, a porch, crowded with plants. His mother opened the door before we knocked. "You're the science boy," she said, wiping her hands on a towel. "Come, there's jollof." The house smelled like pepper and fried dough. Music played in another room. Nobody flinched when the front door closed. 20 minutes in, Toby turned too fast with a pitcher, clipped the counter, and sent glass and hibiscus juice across the tile in a red sheet. I was on my knees before I knew I'd moved, picking up glass with my fingers, apologizing for something I hadn't done. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We'll fix it, please." His mother crossed the kitchen fast, but not toward him, toward me. She crouched and took my wrists. "Stop, you'll cut yourself." She turned my hands over, checking. "Are you hurt, either of you?" Toby was laughing. "It's juice, Ma." She flicked the back of his head, told him to get the mop, and that was it. No timer, no wall, just a mop. Later I reached for a third piece of Puff Puff and froze halfway, waiting for a hand to catch my wrist. She noticed and slid the whole plate over. "Eat. You're a stick." Toby mentioned a D on a history quiz, and I actually tensed, bracing for the room to change. She just sighed, said they'd sort out a tutor after Christmas, and asked him to pass the salt. I remember thinking, people live like this every day. We were washing dishes when I knocked her bowl off the counter, the hand-painted one her own mother had sent from Lagos, the one she'd shown us before dinner. It broke into 3 pieces on the tile. I went rigid. I couldn't get the apology out. I could already feel the paint cans in my hands, the concrete against my back, the numbers resetting on the workbench. "It's fine," she said. "Don't move, there's pieces." And then I was crying. Not quietly. The kind of sobbing that folds you in half in a stranger's kitchen, over a bowl. She knelt beside me on the wet floor. "Sweetheart, it's a bowl. Why are you so frightened?" Toby was staring at me like I'd changed shape. "What did you think was going to happen?" I tried to hold it. I couldn't. It came out in pieces. The garage, the timer, the running, the locked door, the way he called all of it love. Her face did something I'd never seen an adult's face do. Shock, then a flat and terrible anger, then something that looked almost like grief. She pulled me into a hug and held on while I fell apart. "How long has this been happening?" I said I couldn't remember it not happening. She let go, wiped my face with her thumb, and stood up. "You are not going home tonight." Then she picked up her phone, and I heard her say the words I'd spent my whole life believing nobody would ever say for me. "Hello? I need to report a child being abused."